all for coming. For those I haven't met, I am Heather Foster. I'm a financial advisor with Edward Jones here in the community. And prior to that, for about 20 years, I served at the federal government level in public service. So I have a real heart for civic service, whether it's school board or city council or on up to our state and federal levels. But, and really that's what tonight's all about, is connection and conversation. And as you know, Crockett is running for city council, unopposed, I might add. And he wanted to take time to have this conversation so he can represent you and hear from you. But before we dive into that conversation, I wanted to take a moment to explain kind of the flow of tonight. Hopefully you saw there's pads of paper and pens around, so if you think of questions tonight or thoughts, feel free to write those down. We want to get as many of your questions answered as we can. But tonight is going to be real informal and conversational.
My background, experience. Well, I graduated from West Plains High in '89, class of '89, Woo '89, got my classmate here. And from there went on to university, went to Kemper Military Academy, it's military school in Boonville, Missouri. Got an associate's degree there. Went to Langston University, got a wife there. Was pledged in a great fraternity there. You notice I didn't say anything about education in school. So I quickly pivoted and transferred from there to University of Central Oklahoma in Edmond, Oklahoma, and then I got back on track, didn't I?
Yeah.
I realized the mind is a terrible thing to waste, yeah. And went and got a bachelor's degree in criminal justice, my fellow criminal justice major there. And then liked it so well, stayed on and got a master's degree in criminal justice. Was a member of the Oklahoma City Police Department during the tragic events of 1995, the bombing of the Alfred P. Murrah Federal Building in Oklahoma City. I was a first responder to that event. And that event shaped me, I tell you. It's, you know, there we were, 22 years old, eating my slice of pizza, you know, looking for an ordinary day. And on April the 19th, 1995, that day was anything but ordinary. And so just living through that experience and the human interactions that you have in the face of catastrophic events is a shaping thing. One thing that I, as a citizen, have questioned here recently, to anyone who cares to stop and listen to me, is why is our electric bill so high and so varied and just so. What about the electric? What about the utilities? And I know I'm not alone in this regard. I hear it from others about utilities. And so I'm keen to better understand that and most importantly communicate where we can and where we should to ensure everyone has an understanding of what that's about, because I as a citizen have that question. I stopped short of saying concern because I don't even know whether I should be concerned about anything or not. Just a question. One thing, Amy, and that's a good question that you ask. I often think about, I'm a neat freak, cleanliness, and seeing how certain properties throughout town are maintained. I don't know how much of a role the city needs to have in that. Again, meshing what I would desire versus what the reality of it is based on the framework and the law and the policies that govern us. But I think that our city can go well and encourage more visitors and more people seeking to live in our nice, fair city if our curbside appeal was better on a regular routine basis, not just major trash the week after major trash day, and so those are a couple of low-hanging fruit things that I often wonder about and think about, and would love to be able to get after them in a way that satisfies the problems that people see with those
And I'm just asking, is there anything the city council can do to help ensure that we continue to have a good hospital?
I'll address that to the extent that I can as a citizen.
Okay.
Man, we have a great hospital, don't we?
We
It
do.
looks great. When you hear about hospitals closing all over the
Yeah.
nation in rural communities, I think it's a blessing that we have ours and that it continues to thrive and grow. And it seems like, again, as a citizen and a consumer of those services, it seems like we are able to encourage good doctors to come to town. But it does feel like there is a growing population of those unhoused people in our community. And it's sad. I come from the vantage point of having sympathy for the unhoused, because I would like to believe that no one would willingly choose that life for themselves, not willingly. So what does that mean? Does that mean that they're suffering from an addiction? We have programs in place that can get after that. Does it mean that they are suffering from mental illness? We do have programs in place that can get after that. Is it a matter of them falling upon hard times due to lost employment? We do have some structure in place that could help them to get after that. Therefore alleviating the unhoused phenomena. I think each individual that you see on that corner panhandling for money has a different story. And we as a society need to have compassion, even more compassion, to try to understand what that story is.
What do you want people who didn't show up today to know?
Stole my last question. My last question.
That's when you know you're clicking. That's when you know you're clicking. I would want them to know that I'm not taking any of you for granted. That's the reason I wanted to bring whomever came through the door into this historic space to just listen to me and me listen to you, more importantly, me listen to you, and just understand that I'm serious about the business of the city. I'm serious about the business of trying to make things better for all of us, not just you, because you live behind, what's the name of that street, that Broadway extension, you make things better for the entire city. And I think that in order to, one thing that I feel like, Tony, I do well within this community is bring people together. Okay. I tell you what, for a town population of 13, 14,000, for us to be able to have a volunteer workforce running city government and working with the career city government folks, it's just amazing. It's amazing how we're able to pull that off here. It's admirable, and I'm pleased and proud to be here. It feels like home. Everybody asks me, well, how is it when, upon your return, how do you feel? I said, it feels like home.
I was just gonna listen, but Ozark Marketing has picked up the Christmas parade, so there will be one.
Look at that. We got a scoop. The press has got a scoop. The press has got a scoop. Thank you for delivering the scoop.
They're gonna be a great organization to